Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Speed 5. It has been a very busy week here.
It has. I woke up this morning and I was like, why am I so tired? And then I remember that we had a big Hearthstone 4 event in the weekend.
Yes.
And then after that, I remember that it was Monday, and Monday means Masters of Universalis. And then
Yes. Which is super exciting. We love Masters of Universalis.
Then I bounced right out of bed. I withdrew my curtains from my bedroom window. I
And
looked
saw that it
out,
was dark.
looked out over a snowy Stockholm, and just went. And then probably coughed or something, or sneezed or something like that.
Yeah, it was nice and dark till what, about like 8:30 or something this morning. Yeah.
That's I don't. Foreigners come here and they're like, why is it so dark? And I'm like, excuse me, it's always like this. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you get used to it, kind of, sort of. But so kind of, sort of.
Sounded like someone who's not used to the dark.
Indeed. But so last week we had our last couple challenges, and we had it was Pride of the Dhimmi. I probably just butchered that.
This is excellent.
Oh gosh, and then Battle Pope.
Yep.
Which was super exciting. So our winners last week, of course, Flurry. First Flurry, and I'm blanking on who won the other one.
Well, luckily, we do have a leaderboard that we can look at.
It's a whole week.
No, it was. I'm pretty sure it was Aldra.
Aldra, that does make sense.
But yeah, let's remind everyone of the format here. We are into week 3. Actually, it was
Traxium.
We're into week 3 of our first initial 3 weeks, where every player plays each other once. Today, of course, it's Traxium versus Aldrahill first, and then it's Flurry versus Ghibli Jam, and next week we're into our grand finals, where it's a best of 3. And I was going to say anything can happen, but that's not true. A lot of things can happen, though, because this is what our leaderboard looks like. As we can see, Aldrahill and Traxium both have 1 win, 1 loss. Flurry has 2 wins, 0 losses. Unfortunately for Ghibli Jam, a bit of a rough start with 0 wins and 2 losses. To remind everyone, of course, today we have Aldra versus Traxium, and we have Flurry versus Ghibli, meaning it's redemption time for Ghibli in the toughest possible manner, because she is up against Flurry, and I know for a fact that Flurry has been practicing.
Has he? Oh, yeah. Because he was streaming today, wasn't he? Yes, he was.
But it also means that for our first duel of today, either Aldrahill or Traxium are going to end up with 2 wins and 1 loss, because, of course, there are no ties in this format.
No, that's true.
And that means whoever wins this first duel
is moving on to the final.
Is moving on to the grand finals.
Excellent.
So for our second duel of tonight, it's more for pride, or for that elusive clean sweep, which Lath managed last season.
It's true.
Let's see if Flurry can do it this season.
So real quick before we move on, let's mention, so Discord, we did have 2 people that went ahead and did our Discord, and that did our challenges on Discord, and that was Thermore, and he did Pride of the Dhimmi.
Yep.
And he had, I want to say it was 12 religions, and he played as the Timurids. And then we had Bertus, who did Battle of the Pope, and he had, I want to say it was 12 wars. He ended with 12 wars that were over 25%, which is actually pretty impressive. So make sure that you're going onto our Discord and playing our challenges. They are uploaded every single Sunday night.
Also, I don't want to, you guys don't know, don't tell anyone, but Lady Magnus has been going on about wanting to, do some type of competition on the Discord and possibly give away like Speed 5 swag. So if that's something you're interested in, you probably want to join.
Yeah.
But it's between us.
And trust me, we do have some really good swag here at Speed 5.
We do. You know who else has good swag?
The casters?
Yes.
Let's talk to them. Hello.
Wow.
Isn't here? We just matching today. Hello.
Well, 3 of us are.
What a coincidence.
Hey, I do not know where my EU4 Christmas sweater is.
Yeah, we definitely didn't coordinate this on Discord, did we?
No, I mean,
It just happens like this sometimes.
We're just that good.
I'm
Just like last time.
Yeah, I'm just stuck here with a regular like EU4 hoodie.
We just decided we wanted to be super festive because it's the holidays.
It's super festive. I feel like the professionalism of this show, especially from the caster and my co-host side, has gone up immensely. Like it's like I've never seen you look as both like professional, but also festive.
And look, I mean, they're both wearing their nice,
I mean,
jackets.
possibly not Lath because he's apparently stuck in some type
boy.
of grey void. But welcome to week 3. I don't have to be nice to Lath.
He's just like, what? I'm just sitting here. So let's get on to our challenges.
Yeah. Let's just skip through and talk about how mean I am. So the first duel of today, or the first challenge, is Feathered Serpent. Oh no. As a nahuatl starting nation, pass as many reforms as possible. If all reforms are completed, then the in-game date of the final reform is the player's score. You may try as many times as you can within 60 minutes. Now, Red Hawk, Lath, I know you discussed this with Ken Christo when he posted the challenge yesterday. Do you mind explaining what all of this means?
Sure, I can absolutely do that. So basically, it's the instead of it being the first person to do it, it's the person to do it in the least amount of in-game time. So the date in the top right. So if both players, for example, get 4 reforms or 3 reforms, then it's whoever in their best possible run got that many reforms by that date. So if one person does it in, let's say, 10 years, one person does it in 12 years, then the person who did it in 10 years does take home the victory.
And this is a bit of a flip again, right, on the format. Normally, we're incentivizing our players to go as quickly as possible because we're using real time. They have 60 minutes, meaning you want to go fast. In this, it might actually be beneficial to sometimes pause. But at the same time, you do need to be able to get as many reforms as possible, right? Even if your opponent gets 4 at a really early date and you manage to get 5, still going to win with 5. Traxium, Aldrahill are playing this challenge. It's 1 win, 1 loss for both of them. So all to play for. This is the duel to figure out who goes through to the grand final.
And it'll decide too. I mean, Traxium is our winner from last season, so it'll be interesting to see if he actually goes to the finals yet again.
Yep.
So that'll be exciting if it actually ends up, or we might have somebody new. Maybe Aldra will pull it out. So that being said, so Red Hawk, what would be your strategy to win this?
I'm glad that you asked that. You see, I have the experience in playing these nations. I've played them maybe exactly once. I've played a Mexican nation exactly once. So if you're asking me, I don't really have a strategy here. I have no idea how to do these reforms. I mean, of course I do. I've never done it. But good thing we banned that exploit because it is possible to get all reforms in about 6 months. So we're not going to be seeing that. You guys don't have to worry. Aside from that, I'm just ready to sit back and learn myself a bit.
Interesting. And I thought it was interesting last night, too, on the Discord. Lath did tell them, you are here for the hour, so don't think you're getting out of work early. I did notice that you said that. Lath.
That was the thing. Yeah, I wrote many essays. I was mocked mercilessly for trying to make sure that all the loopholes were closed. But I guess that's just my job now. So just get mocked on camera, off camera, in the Discord, by the audience.
I mean, to be fair, Lath, this is true for most referee type jobs. The people in the stands are never pleased. It's a thankless job, but I'm thankful that you're here.
And I have to say, I actually enjoyed watching him. The paragraphs that he wrote, they were actually kind of educational.
He's very passionate.
Yeah,
he is very passionate. So
passionate.
Let's take a look at our second challenge.
There we go. So the sun will rise. As an Incan starting nation, pass as many reforms as possible. If all reforms are completed, then the in-game date of the final reform is the player's score. You may try as many times as you can within 60 minutes. So my understanding of this one is that from a words perspective, this seems kind of similar to the previous
Yes.
one, but from an actual reforms perspective, it's quite a different challenge.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how they do this. I actually just played the Incans recently. Within the last couple of months, I actually did it. So I'm interested to see how they want to do this. So this one is going to be Ghibli Jam and Flurry Worry.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe if Ghibli can get that win. So Flurry is 2 wins and 0 losses, and Ghibli is 0 wins and 2 losses. So this could very well, I mean, if maybe not make it a clean sweep for Flurry.
It's definitely, if you want it, I feel like we shouldn't, of course, as hosts, we always want to up the tension, right?
Right. Of course.
But it is a case of like, if you're gonna be motivated to claw a win back, and I'm like, I had some rough times in the first two.
Right.
Prove that you have what it takes. Going up against Flurry and winning, it's a baller move, as we say in the business.
And we like underdogs here. We do.
We always do. One thing I'm very, very, very curious about is how many times Red Hawk has played as the Incans.
You wouldn't even believe
You're
it.
getting exposed.
I've played them so many times, man.
Oh,
Honestly, I've played the Incans so many times. I can reform these guys with my eyes closed, with no headphones, with the screen off, no power in the house, no internet, in a different country.
Bird hitting the window.
So that means we're
Everything. Thunderstorm.
So Laith, I just want you to make a note that we're going to go talk to the players in just a moment. We're going to ask them what their plan is, and then I want you to hang out Red Hawk to dry, seeing if he agrees or disagrees, and then we'll judge him afterwards, right?
Sure, I could do that.
Cool.
Embarrass Red Hawk on live? Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
That's
Not
what
again.
I'm after.
All right, we're going to go ahead and take it over to our players. Good evening.
Hello.
They're looking festive too.
Yeah?
I
I mean,
mean,
Traxium looks a little cold.
I was just. I feel like I know how you feel, Traxium. We have the coldest studio in ages.
It's really cold.
Oh my god. So good here too, so it's crazy.
So, what's the weather like in Spain then, Traxium? How are you feeling?
Oh, it's so cold. I think I yesterday I thought I was like going to frost, and it was like come back to home, get in bed, and just be there, just be there watching something on the mobile and chill and try to recover. But I'm doing better, so
Very
thank you
nice.
for the preoccupation.
Happy to hear it. Aldrahill, how is it over at your place?
I moved to Scotland this year. I'm just going to answer it with that sentence.
So it's like
it's unique.
tropical.
Well,
It's something.
in that case, Aldrahill, how are you feeling about this challenge? As we mentioned previously, 1 win, 1 loss. If you win this one, you're through to the grand final.
I'm confident. I'm really like playing the Aztecs. They're one of my favorite nations. Although the Incans are as well. But I'm confident. I just think I need to not go bankrupt like I did in my most recent test.
Okay.
Okay, that's fair. And Traxium, so if you win this challenge today, you get to go to the final and defend it. So how are you feeling tonight?
Yeah, I was feeling confident, but my plan was really doomed a few minutes ago because I watched some movie yesterday about puppets, and I was like, okay, I have the perfect plan. Tomorrow in Mastery of Universalis, I just be a puppet, connect the audio to the casters, and just do whatever they say. But they seem like they have no idea about what to do with this nation, so maybe you are doomed.
Thanks a lot, casters. Way to drop the ball.
I mean, I feel I'm as shocked as everyone. Now, since the challenge is to pass as many reforms as possible, I would like a number from each of you, starting with the Aldrahill. How many reforms are you going to be able to pass?
I'm going for 5.
5.
Let's do it.
Traxium?
Okay, I'm going for 7 because I will do 2. Then my game will be ruined. Then I will have to restart and do another force.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
I don't mind that one.
Well, I mean, they definitely do have the ability to really restart with this. Sometimes they really don't in that hour. You guys don't always. I know that Traxium did it last week, obviously, but you really don't have that much opportunity with just an hour to go ahead and restart.
No, I mean, the
It's
challenge
dangerous
is knowing when it's worth it.
Right.
Traxium, Aldrahill, thank you guys so much, and best of luck to both of you. It's going to be a fun challenge to watch.
Most definitely. So we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, I am excited.
It's going to be interesting, I feel like, to see if Traxium can go ahead and win this and get himself to the final. I mean, that would kind of be exciting, though, right? If he would manage to get to the final against Flurry and won it against Flurry, could you? Oh my gosh!
I mean, I feel like all of these scenarios are exciting. If Traxium comes back, excellent. If Aldrahill knocks out the winner of last season, excellent.
Right.
If Flurry in this next duel gets a clean sweep, fabulous. If
Or,
Ghibli comes
yeah.
back, whew, so good. With that said, other things that are so good are casters.
All right, let's head it over to our casters.
Well, that was
No one
nice.
asked me at any point what my strategy's worth for anything. Let's point that out.
Bruh,
So we've been
I don't care
exposed.
about your strategies.
Thanks
Come
to
on.
you. Yeah, exactly. No one really cares what I. You know what? Do you want to take the next sort of few hours, and I'll just sit back. I'll mute my mic.
I don't mind casting by myself. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Alright,
See
yep.
you, man. Well, I'm obliged to be here. So I think it's important to note that both players seem to be gunning for 5 reforms. So I think it's going to come down to time, personally.
Definitely,
It'd be really
definitely. I've
interesting
become an expert.
Yeah, you go.
I've become an expert in Aztec history and playing the Aztec nations in these 2 minutes. So yeah, all you gotta do is reform, bruh. Just release those vassals and
Simple as.
vassalize them again. Forehead, so easy. I literally
have
did
a
it
really
while you guys were talking.
specific Aztec strategy in mind. So if anyone deviates from that, I'm going to be very upset. But I'm going to tell our players to get going. And if we switch over, I am looking over Aldrahill's screen right now, and we'll see what his opening moves are. It's interesting to see that that Traxium's listening to us. You know, he said he's going to be a
Both
puppet.
of them are listening
although
to us,
not.
right?
Yeah, well, you'd hope, considering how much value that we
Right.
add. Right, let's see. Personally, as an opening move, I would always disintegrate this air. That I
Yeah,
think
he's
is just,
horrible. They're both playing
he's just
Aztec
the
though.
worst.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, I think
That's
there's no
definitely not
question about that.
necessary.
You have to.
Yeah.
No, you have to. Aztecs, 100%. You need to. I think personally, I'd be surprised. Right now, we have some low crown line going down, and in fact, the heir has been disinherited. No admin focus yet, but an admin advisor is one of those nations that you can really do a lot with in terms of you have gold income, but it is quite easy to ride your inflation up to unsustainable levels and then, go bankrupt, as Aldra was saying.
Wasn't high inflation good?
Why would high inflation be good to you?
Well,
Look at
that's
this.
what
Look
I
at all
always
the
thought.
Horrible costs.
Listen, big number
I don't like
equals
high
good.
inflation.
What? Big number equals good, bro. I don't know what you're talking
Well-
about, but yeah, man. Speaking of the gold, there's like Aztec starts off with how many? Like 4 gold producing provinces, right? That's really strong. And then again, we got even more around them. About 6 more, if I'm being
Yeah,
think
there's
so.
there's tons more. So gold is really going to be part of it here, especially when they have this monument that starts at level 2. Pretty sure there's an event that bumps it up to level 3, which you get goods produced, but you're not able to fully maximize your potential because of there we go, because of you being a native. So we have
Yeah,
an
no
immediate
government
war
reforms.
against oh god, I've just realized we have to pronounce these names. Matlazinka. And
just say
Kalima.
these guys, bro. Just say these
Against
guys. and
these
point
dudes,
to them
these guys
on the map.
Just point this
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah,
I think
you got a mouse.
the interesting, the interesting thing about this run is how risky do you play it, right? Because there's a web of alliances, which is a bit RNG.
Yeah, that's always so
For
fun.
those of you who don't know, we should probably explain how to do the reforms. So here's the requirements: you need 5 vassals, you need stability at least 1, you need to be at peace, and then you click a button and all of your vassals, they just immediately separate from you,
Yep,
and
they
you
get
get
released.
bad times. Yeah, we also have this Doom mechanic here, where if you get 100 Doom, basically you're dead. It's over. Doom is
In this
a tricky
case,
thing.
a low number good.
Yes, low number good, as well as inflation. But the interesting thing about Doom is that the higher it is, the lower your aggressive expansion. So if you're trying to avoid coalitions, flirting the line with high Doom is quite the good option. But
I mean,
again,
there's an
it's one of those
achievement
things.
for that. Yeah.
Yeah, there is. There is. It's one of those things that, like, here we go. That contribution to the temple. It's one of those things that you can really play it quite fast and loose. Get high Doom, take out a bunch of loans, and just gun for it, and you'll get it done really quickly. But one mistake, one slip up, and you have coalitions all over the place. Doom might tick up to 100, which is based on how big you are. So you got to decide how many provinces to take from all of these. Yeah, personally, I take every province apart from one usually. Leave them alive, and then
Gotta leave them as OPMs. That's the best strategy, I feel like, as well. Meanwhile, if we flip over to my screen, Traxium has started a war as well. We can see right here that he is fighting Mixtech. Well, I can pronounce that, no problem. And Totonek. Oh my god. This is so easy, man. I don't know why you were having trouble. But yeah, what I would do in his scenario right here is probably take these two provinces from Totonek, vassalize them right here, and maybe I just straight up vassalize Mixtech. I mean, are they co-belligerented? They're not, but it depends on the aggressive expansion, honestly. Meanwhile, he does not have an admin advisor, very strange, and is not focusing on admin either. So
his heir as well is a thing.
Yeah, and his heir is still present here, so we'll see what happens with that. I mean, he is listening, right? He might just be fixing that right now, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like he's focusing on this war. But yeah, speaking of the gold, let me show you the gold mines, chat, if you guys never play in Mexico or whatever. Aztec starts off with these 4 right here. They can get these 2, so that's 6. We got 2 more down here, so that's 12. And if they get these 3 more up here, that's around 47 gold mines. So these guys are going to be swimming in gold in no time, man.
Right off the bat, would you mind, production team, if we can get a poll going between in chat between who they think is going to win? I can also ask chat directly. You know what? I'll annoy them by getting chat to spam things. We always get told off for that. So spam 1 if you think Traxium's going to win. Spam 2 if you think Aldrahill will win. And we'll see how people are stacking up with that. You're actually talking quite informatively for someone who has never played the Aztecs before, man.
Listen,
look,
I do my job, all right? Meanwhile, Traxium has... Meanwhile, Traxium has started his second war versus, what's this nation? Teotitlan and these guys right there. So he's fighting
not so easy now, is it?
This nation down here and this nation over here as well. So that's 4 potential vassals in just 2 wars. Although he is losing battles, this is an L right here in these mountains, but well, this is actually another L right here.
That's gonna hurt.
And keep in mind, players, I know you're listening to us. Every time you want to restart, you have to keep in mind that me and Lath have to be quick as well, right? We got to join the game too, so...
we start participating. We're secretly hoping for that, because then we can have an impact, you know? We can
so if I'm slow, potentially you're slow.
All right, if we flip back over here to my point of view, looking over at Aldrahill, I'll take you through what's been happening. He's come out of 1 war with 1 vassal, and he has in fact left them as a 1 province minor. He's now got 2 other wars. He fought a very, very close battle, which he did end up winning. But that is going to be costly on the manpower front. Let's see. The issue is as well the distribution of forts. You kind of want to avoid as many different fort-bearing nations as possible, because they're horrible. Let's have a look at the mission tree. As you can see here, nothing they can really utilize.
Breaking news, Traxium has restarted, so don't flip to my screen. We do have our first restart. First restart.
Now, bear in mind, chat, that it is the first person to do it by in-game date. So if Aldrahill gets it done, then... you know, it doesn't mean that Traxium's out, and this way we go for the full hour. We have the Sumptuary Laws trigger, which gives, for the rest of the game, 2.5% discipline and 0.05 reduction in monthly war exhaustion. This is one of the best events in the game, and it's a permanent modifier, which is kind of ridiculous. But I don't want to say that the Aztecs... No, I'll say it. The Aztecs are overpowered. I think they should be nerfed, personally, but, you know.
I think they should be updated.
Yeah, updated, sure, but I think they need to...
If anyone at Tinto is listening... also give the Ottomans a better mission tree and the Mamluks too, please.
We're just shouting out things now. Right, let's see how he's getting on financially speaking. We have 3 loans. We've got a military focus. Interesting. Okay, that is one way of going about it. At the start, you'd have a 5 military skill guy, so that may not be the right way. You got to remember that each time you have to stab up here. However, that's not to say that it was a poor decision. We have another peace deal here, and I think another vassal under the belt, because having dominant military is going to help stifle any potential coalitions. Also, another thing I want to mention is that whilst you're trying to collect as many vassals as possible, so are others. And in one war, if you go up against someone who has a bunch of vassals, you can take their vassals off them. So if I check out...
That's a very valid strategy as well.
It's incredibly useful, because you do need to like sort of send out tendrils like over here to touch as many different nations as possible. Otherwise, you're going to suffer when it comes to truces and coalitions. If you do it right, you can get around pretty much every truce, but it is kind of finicky, especially under the pressure. It looks like Aldrahill has won the poll, but by a very slight margin. So we'll see. What do you think, chat?
56%.
56%. I think, is it? Yeah, it's 56. When do you think that you do it by, chat? Go on, give me a year. I don't need an hour. I just need a year. Tell me. Surely releasing vassals is the way. You have to understand that there are 5 reforms, and it makes things incredibly tricky. Also, I'm not sure that Aztec has any nations they can release at the start. They can't. I don't believe.
Basically, you got to get 5 vassals 5 times, chat.
Right at the end for the final one, absolutely. Like if you can wipe out a couple of nations in that final war, but I don't see why you wouldn't vassalize them. But let's say you're in that situation, then yeah, releasing them would be the viable option. Bear in mind that once you take a reform, they are all released, and you have to start again, and it's kind of rough. So we'll see. People are saying.
Meanwhile, we can pop back over to Traxium's POV and see what's happening over here, because he has restarted, and he has restarted his first war as well. Once again, versus these guys right here in mixed deck. So this seems to be going a lot better for him. He's fighting in the mountains once again, but this is going to be an easy dub right there. There we go. But this is a level 3 fort. He is using mercenaries. He does have the free company up. Let's check out his setup. Once again, no admin visor. Once again, the air is still here. And guys are offering him condottieri. I would accept these personally because, manpower, it's not that good. Free company.
But then you have to rely on the AI.
These guys are going to get spent. Well, sure, but, at least they can stand around in provinces like this, right? Or maybe they'll stack on the fort as well. So I would accept the condottieri personally. And that is the different opinion. Here.
I disagree with you wholeheartedly. I'm going to make the recommendation that you never appear here again.
Well, all right. I have to go open the door. Meanwhile, chat, these are the reforms. If you guys don't know them, we got the monthly war exhaustion minus 0.05. This is mid. Once again, high war exhaustion, good, as we learned in the last challenge. Then we got Diplo Relations +1. Sure, this is good, right? You have vassals, discipline, colonists, and stab discount. What I would go first, obviously, is the stab discount. Then I'd probably go with the discipline, then the Diplo rep, and then finally the war exhaustion. And you don't really even need the colonists, well, for this challenge specifically that we're doing here today.
If we flip back over to my point of view, we have another peace deal. We are up to 3 vassals right now for Aldrahill. He's looking calm, cool, collected. Well, not cool. The hat doesn't really do it for me, but unfortunately, we go forwards.
He's calm,
I like seeing their reaction.
Collected.
Oh man, right. So he is currently at war with Calisco, one of those things.
Does he have any vassals already?
Defensive. Yeah, well, he's got 3. He's having a great time.
Oh,
he's close to be spiking his doom. It is a tricky thing to do because if you do it too early, then you kind of want it to sit at like 60. As you can see here, the cost from aggressive expansion impact is now minus 3%. So if you have 60,
do you lose doom in any way?
Yeah, you get events. You can also use this nice little mechanic here where you can sacrifice people's rulers and heirs, and that'll reduce.
Right. They did do that.
Yeah,
they did do that.
But you can only do it a certain amount of time. Right. Let's see. I mean, he seems to be gone west for the most part. I want to get the diplomatic map mode up. Let me replace the Imperial one. I don't think we're going to be using the Imperial map mode anytime soon.
Yeah.
It is interesting. There is a little bit of a thing you can do. Oh god, I've switched.
Meanwhile, if we flip back over to my screen, we have 5 wars going on at the same time. 5 wars, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice.
Very much. But they're all just one nation, right?
So if we
And
flip
we'll
over to
wait on
your
that.
point of view, we can have a look at that.
Soon.
Hold.
Hold,
Wait.
chat.
Wait for it. We're gonna flip any moment now. I promise.
Any moment now.
Oh, we see nice little victory
coming.
anyway. All right. Well, in case it doesn't, I'll take you through the Aztec ideas. You start off with that plus 10% infantry combat ability, which really does help with these early awards. I don't think anyone else around has that. It looks like we have this war basically
Any moment
won.
now.
How many? How many do you have it? Koitux Huaca and Slaxakala. What? What? What are you trying to say about my pronunciations? There's nothing I can do about it. Look, I am not Mexican by descent. Look, you give it a go then. Try and pronounce that first one.
I don't see it. Where is it? Where is it on the map?
It is.
All right.
It's the purple ones. Yeah.
Listen, I've had enough of embarrassing myself, dog. We're just gonna call these guys Koi, all right?
Yo,
Oh yeah,
Koi.
the X is pronounced. Yeah, that's right. Koi. All right, I'm gonna stop myself. Meanwhile, if we flip back over to Traxium's POV, we can see that. All right,
Let's see.
any
Oh, we're
moment
gonna flip
now.
over to Traxium.
There we
Here we
go.
go.
And he's in 5 wars
Dummies
at the
in
same
chat,
time.
boys. We can
Ladies
see
and gentlemen.
Traxium.
He's fighting Zapotec and Itza. I can say those guys very easily. Tlapanek and Shalisko right here. He's getting dubs in all of them. Just kidding, he's not. He's only getting a dub in this one war with Tlaxcala right here, which is these guys. So if you're fighting Tlaxcala, obviously you take their fort because, well, it's a fort. And I'd probably leave them alive in Cholula or something like that. By the way, what's your favorite hot sauce, chat? I like Cholula a lot, man. Louisiana Gold is pretty good too. And he's also fighting. By the way, not a sponsor. He's also fighting the same guys that Aldrahill is fighting, and
Ghibli
these
said you
guys as well,
sacrifice heirs for +1 pronunciation.
oh yeah,
God, we need a lot more than plus one. The interesting
Yeah, we
thing
need, like,
about
plus
this
10,
is
don't we?
efficiency, right? So you want to be at war with only 5 people at a time because you can then go ahead and vassalize 5 people. If you're at war with more than that, then it is a truce for later. It's one of those things that is tricky to min-max. And if you flip over to Aldrahill's perspective, I can take you through what he's doing. It looks like he did not vassalize an individual in that last war, but he is up against 2 people now. So if he vassalizes them both, then we will see a potential reform from him. He has the stability, but manpower running low, money running low. Let's see. Are things going to plan, Aldrahill? Give us a nod if they are and shake of the head if they're not. Let's see. What's he going to do?
he's
Can he
doing
hear
the
us?
so-so thing. The so-so.
So. Okay.
The
It's so.
international
That's-
symbol for so-so.
I think he's doing well. I can't really say anything that he's made a mistake on at present.
So,
yeah.
Aldrahill is vassalizing guys one by one, as I can see, but I think Traxium is trying to piece them out all at once or something like that. Or maybe no.
Ooh, that's gotta suck. Oh no,
That
it was a
definitely
multiple
is gonna
fort. Rebels have risen up. Oh, that's
L.
terrible.
Let's see some L's in the chat, boys. Let's see some L's
some
in
L's.
the chat.
Oh,
We're
we
not
see
a W
stability
stream
go
over here.
down.
We're an L stream
We're just constant
because
L's.
Latha's hosting, of course.
Okay, right, thanks, mate. You're right alongside me.
Well, listen, it's collateral damage,
Let's-
bro. What can I say?
It's a kamikaze. All right, he's definitely going to vassalize these 2, and it looks like we got to make sure we're noting down when the reforms are actually done. You laughed at me for saying that last night.
Well, I'll leave that up to you.
Got to do it on your. I can't
see
see
the date
Traxium's
in my
point of view. Okay. Oh god. Right. It looks
The
like
date
that
is
is
blurred.
one. That's all done. The date's blurred. All right. We'll just ask the players to do it.
Oh, we
think
see a
that's what we're doing.
facepalm by Aldrahill. Did he
Oof.
make a mistake?
What could that mean? Let's see.
Did
Did
he
he
make a
vassalize them? No, he vassalized
He
them.
is shaking
It
his
seems
head up and
pretty-
down, which would mean yes everywhere except Bulgaria.
Also
So-
known as nodding. Should we flip
Right,
over
I
to
couldn't
Traxion's
think of
point
the
of view
word.
and we can see
Right.
how he's getting over?
Meanwhile,
He liked
Traxium's
that one.
laughing because
liked
we're
that.
very competent. And
It's
he's
a
been saying
miracle,
peace out
Mr.
here
Ham.
for a while, man. He's got 2 vessels now, Zapotec and Mixtec. Who is he planning? And what I'm wondering is why isn't he piecing out Tlaxcala over here, man. He's had them occupied for very long. I wonder what a strategy is here.
Is he war with someone else in the Tlaxcalan War, potentially?
He is at war with a bunch more nations, man.
No, I mean in that specific war, the Tlaxcalan War.
No, I don't think so. Nope, just them.
Okay.
Just them. Yeah. So I'm wondering, why isn't this fort owned by Aztec yet? Why are we still here? Just
as we cross the first third of the game, neither one has managed to secure themselves a reform. Obviously, that does get easier as we go on, but I think our predictions of all 5 might be rather tricky.
That's not our predictions. That's their predictions. Listen, nobody asked me. Nobody asked me. I don't know why, but you know, I would have said 3, honestly.
Well, if we take a look at my screen, if we flip over to Aldrahill's point of view, we can have a look down here to these uncolonized provinces where we could see if we can find who asked, Redhawk. Because I can't seem to find who asked, for your opinion. And yet. All right, so moving on. We have 5 vassals. Let's see, is he going to stab up? Are we going to see the first reform? He needs to secure this. This. Yeah. You didn't enjoy that one, did you?
No,
I don't think chat did either.
So good.
All right, well, we're going to see right now, surely the first reform. Let's see which one he takes. And as you can see, he loses 1 stability. Everyone comes independent and he gains plus 25 doom.
The date is May 21st, 1483, right? No, 1453?
31st, 1453 for the first reform. Aldrahill's on the board. Currently, if the game were to end right now, he would be winning. But fortunately, that's not the case, because if we only got 1 between 2 players, I think that'd be kind of sad. So, as you can see, chat, his little empire has collapsed, and now he has to start anew. And I believe he's going to have truces with a lot of these guys over here. Let's see if we can find the truce map mode. That's always a fun one.
Yeah, good luck looking for that. Meanwhile, if we flip back over to the fun POV, we can see that Traxium has acquired himself 3 vassals. That's what's up. You know, just like the first duel right here, man, I'm going to root for the guy that I'm watching, or the girl. So he's still not piecing out these guys. I don't know why. Please, someone in chat, let me know. But he's pretty much winning all of these wars, man. Yeah, he's only fighting 2 nations in this one, but he should be getting his first reform done pretty soon as well. Maybe even quicker than Aldrahill. He did it 1453, right? May 31st?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I think it is kind of important to note that you do want to piece out people, in my opinion at least, as quickly as possible, because then you can go ahead and get that truce timer down as low as possible. That is, well, you can't try and flip it back on me, mate. You've already taken the L on that one.
Listen, that was too good, all right?
So
maybe I didn't catch the
chat. Redhawk, I don't know anything about the Aztecs. Also, Redhawk, why didn't they ask me?
Listen, I may have... that may have been the consequences of my own actions right there, but listen, that doesn't mean I can't complain, all right? I like complaining.
If we flip over to my point of view, I think I have just realized something. Let's have a look. We have quite a few truces all around, specifically nations bordering, which is going to be tricky. It looks like the only route of expansion is going to be this lad right here. If you can see everything that's colored.
Locked himself in.
He mildly has. I think if he has to take 2 provinces, surely. Let's see who he's gone up against. Take capital Tlapalec. He has indeed. But here's the interesting thing. This is a war with 4 participants. So he could potentially vassalize them all. Yeah, because Tlapalec, he's gotten a bit lucky there. Tlapalec have 3 vassals, so he could get 4 in 1, and then he just needs to conquer these guys, because otherwise the truce timers are going to be rather tricky. I don't want to say that luck has favored Aldrahill every time he's played, but I want to know what his methods are to be able to secure this kind of RNG. Begun Inheritance, if you recall, in that first duel, that served him quite nicely. And
oh yeah,
and now we see some more of that famed Aldrahill luck. Let's see. Can he? I think it'll only show up.
Take it away today. Who do you think?
Who do I think? It's impossible to tell at this point. It really is. I
think it's too early.
I think it is. I mean, the Aldrahill, no offense to Aldrahill, but the Traxium Floriwari match was incredibly close. In terms of specific, like if he had 1 or 2 more provinces, then he would have made it. That's not to say that Aldrahill's own bout wasn't as close. I'm talking about specifically the scoreboard. So I don't know. I enjoy the fact that every single one of these matches so far this season has been close. It's been down to the wire. Traxium literally beating Ghibli in the final few seconds.
If we pop back over to Traxium, he is about to pass his first reform as he has acquired 5 subjects. Let's see right here. Do they need to be loyal? Oh,
no, they don't need to be loyal, but he has to be at peace.
So he needs to dip from this Tlapanic war. All right.
Well, the thing,
you learn something new every day.
So he's done Tlapanic subjugation, despite the fact he's already got stuff. Is he able to take? He should be able to take provinces, or does he have to vassalize them in order to take provinces?
I just white piece these guys, honestly. Get the truce out of the way, maybe. I don't know.
I'd take provinces. You need to have a strong base when you release. It looks like he's prioritized getting the reforms over taking the land. I think personally, especially after the second reform, you taking a bunch of provinces is a good idea, because every time you take a reform, the amount of yearly doom that you gain is taken down a notch. So the increased doom from number of own provinces, yeah. I see. You can select.
Listen, you're speaking French to me here. I have no idea what you just said. I have no idea, dog.
All right, chat. Is it? Am I speaking properly, or is it just red?
Listen, you can be the guy that knows about the Aztecs. All right, I'll let you take it here. I'll take over when the Incans come around. All right. So
okay, that makes sense. All right, I'll be
maybe
the
I'll
go-to.
learn
You
something.
can be the comedic sidekick. In which case, I'll point out what Flora is saying is true. You can insta-release them for a quick vassal afterwards, which is true. I don't know that I would do that. Again, I think building up a base is very important, especially if you're going to be fighting like everyone all over again. And also because the further out the tendrils are, the better, because you can hit more nations and thus not be affected by truces. So we'll see how far that takes.
Tendrils, I like that.
Okay.
So what you're saying is don't snake. Not snaking, but octopusing. That's the new term?
It's the new meta. Snaking implies one singular line. Octopus, at least 8.
Yeah. True.
I'm redefining the meta, bro.
New meta right here.
If we flip back over to my point of view, I can let you know how this war is getting on. He has occupied a lot of the territories needed. It is worth noting that, in my opinion at least, fighting someone who has vassals is a lot better, because oftentimes those vassals will be disloyal, as you can see here, and so they won't intervene. So you get to fight 4 guys, all individually, without any allies, for the price of 1. Again, I don't want to say it too early, because people don't like it when we advise the casters, but seeking out those opportunities and letting someone gather vassals for you is really, really valuable. Again, this is the perfect number for Aldrahill here. 4, it's things we love to see.
In the meantime, Traxium has passed his first reform, ladies and gentlemen, and if we flip over to his screen over here, we can see that he did pass his reform on May 29th, 1456. So almost 3 years after Aldrahill passed his first reform. Now, Doom is pretty high, man. It's 30, and apparently high Doom equals bad, yo. High Doom equals bad. I didn't know that.
You want High Doom?
All right, High Doom is good.
Because look,
I'm getting mixed signals here, all right?
Hover the modifier, I'll show you. Really high Doom, bad. Like, because if you hit 100 Doom, up to 100 Doom,
so
you have a great
Doom
time.
Good? Mid Doom good?
I mean, like ideally you want like 99, but like then one event could wipe you out, because you get a bunch of events that will like increase it. Because if you look at the bottom, that last modifier, aggressive expansion impact, it's a ridiculous modifier that scales with Doom, right? So if you have 60 Doom, you'll have minus 60% aggressive expansion impact, which is huge in this clustered area, especially if you're going to be doing rapid conquest.
And you're not really going to be teching up, are you? Or taking ideas. So those negative effects, I guess, they don't matter too much, right? I mean, at least
it
not
looks like our
this
players
run.
are going to be going for Miltech. That's what's interesting to me. So maybe they want to keep Doom low.
Yeah. Traxium's at Miltech 3 right here.
That is impressive. And that is a huge advantage over everyone else.
Massive advantage. If I go into the tech map mode right here, well, they're all dark red, but all of them are at Miltech 1. These guys are at Tech 2. So yeah, he's technologically superior, at least in weaponry, to all of these guys right here. Listen, he may not be able to run his country. He may not know how to talk to people, but at least he can fight, man. And that's what's important in this run.
Aztecs in a nutshell, mate. Right, if we flip over to my point of view here, we can see how Aldrahill's getting on. As you can see by this peace deal, when that flip happens, there we go. You can only get 3 of them. So you can get 3 in this war right here. Again, I would advise taking provinces and playing the high Doom game. Aldrahill currently on 1 Doom in any case, because Oh, let's see what he did. What did he do? He took 3 vassals. There we go. So he did take the 3 vassals. He has 2 more wars. One against Teotihuacan and one against... Oh, God help me. And one against Matlazinka.
Yep.
So that's good. So he does
That's
have...
what they called me in high
I
school.
think... He did not call you Matlazinka. All right. So
You don't believe me?
I don't, surprisingly. The interesting thing here is that I think he has 3 vassals. He's in a war with 3 people. He takes these 2 provinces and then takes these guys as vassals, because then that gives him access to Yucatan, who, again, in my opinion, he should take 1 province from at least, because that will give him access to this lot, this lot, this lot, and this lot to be able to attack when the release is done, thereby effectively cycling his truces. Although it looks like a lot of them have expired up here anyway. We'll see. Doesn't Speed 5 advance quicker on better PCs? Well, that's where the USP of this tournament comes in, ladies and gentlemen, because both of our players are using the same hardware because they're like clouded in and stuff, because technology is kind of cool. So right now, all of us that are watching and participating are all on the exact same spec of PC. So it's all going to be the same. So it's a level playing field. That's right. We thought about this. So
We figured everything out, chat. And by we, I mean the nice folks over at Speed 5. Me and Lath are just here to, well, try and be funny.
Trying being the key word there. It looks like he has taken these 2 provinces for more access. That is a good move there. Instead of going for long-term aims. As Flory points out, getting coalition is horrible because you can't vassalize them because they aren't coalition, which sucks. Yeah, so you really want to avoid a coalition, which is where High Doom comes into this. So we shall see. Now, did he, in fact, take... There we go, that's the 5th, and he's still at war with Matlazinka. And I don't know where Matlazinka is, but it looks like they are done. And that's another one there on the 14th of November.
He has 1 more than
14:59.
necessary, but, you know, not going to fault him for that. He is quite heavily in the lead right now because Traxium at this point does not have any vassals, and he has a 20k stack standing on Mexico City. He does have the tech advantage, but we'll see what happens right there. What's the first reform that Aldrahill
long term here? I believe he did take the stability first and then the discipline, although it could have been the other way around. Either way, he's got these 2, which are the most powerful. The colonist one's going to be useless for you right now.
Did you note down the date?
If anyone deployed a strategy with the colonists, I did, thank you very much, because I am a professional.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
Good job.
I don't know why I was so hostile there. I don't know why. I do apologize. This is a hostile world
Meanwhile,
now.
We can pop back over to Traxium, see what's up over here after Aldrahill passed the 2nd reform. Traxium still not even 1 out of the 2nd batch of vassals that he needs to get. He is fighting this massive nation, Matlazinka, what they called me in high school, like I said earlier, and he needs to piece out Kolima and Otomi. Such easy names. Oh, I love this war, dude. So yeah.
So he has only one vassal.
He doesn't have any vassals right now.
He doesn't have
any vassals out of the 2nd batch.
It looks like he's 1 or 2
so,
years behind. But again, a lot of these things can change. It does look like he doesn't have as large of a power base as Aldrahill. Again, I think having a large power base does mean that you can, for example, take out more loans, stretch your nation to further heights. But then again, you run the risk of increased amounts of rebels. So
how many provinces does Aztec start with? 4? These 4 right here?
It is those 5 starting ones, I believe.
These 5. So he hasn't expanded at all territorially, it seems like. Yeah.
No.
What would you do in this war? In this war, I'd probably take like 4 provinces, vassalize these 2 as OPMs, and then vassalize this guy as he is.
Well, when it comes to
anything different,
I mean, yeah, when it comes to the Aztecs, my personal opinion is that you play them as high doom as possible. So you take as many provinces as possible from everyone around you. You get a bunch of events that will give you -5 doom and -10 doom and this sort of stuff. It's in my opinion quite an easy mechanic to manage, although it looks quite scary because it goes up quite rapidly if you are a large nation. So you know it's tricky, but well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think both players should could potentially be flirting with 50 doom and still feel pretty confident about their own abilities. Bear in mind as well, victories in battles will lower doom. So if you chase around a bunch of 1k stacks, you can farm lower doom as well.
What about
it says,
fighting
you can all turn in a heartbeat
rebels?
if either of them lose a war. What are Fighting Rebels? I don't know if Fighting Rebels counts. I don't believe.
Look at
that
this
it
big guy down
does.
here in my game. Tsotsil?
Pronounce that one.
Shout out to these guys, man.
They are.
They're mine,
They're gonna try
actually.
and.
They're not nahuatl.
They're also playing. They're trying to reform the Mayan faith.
Yep.
They
This
might
is
solve
our
problems.
secret MP player.
Let's see. If we flip over to my point of view, we'll balance it out and sort of see how things are going on here. I do want to show off that due to a number of own provinces, he gets plus 11, but because he has 2 reforms, that is minus 4.4, as well as the monument giving a further 3 reduction. So he only gets 3 Doom every year. For context, if he were to sit here and do absolutely nothing, it would take him, 30 years, roughly, for his Doom to tick up too high. So Doom really isn't
That's
that
not bad.
much of a mechanic to be scared of. So I think more conquest, the better. Let's see.
Yeah, so what you're saying
he
is
is
don't
the
pay attention
target
to
of a
Doom.
coalition. Oh, he needs to, and I think he has attacked them through attacking Tlaxcala. That's a good idea. That is a tricky one to manage. Let's see. Oh, aggressive expansion. That's also why you want to start heading into the Mayans as well to spread out the aggressive expansion, because it looks like all this lot have the potential to join a coalition. That could spell the end, potentially. All it is one bad moment, but we do cross the halfway line about 5 minutes ago, so it's 25 minutes left. So we'll see.
Do you think there's
how they
time for him to
restart? This
restart?
point's dead. Oh, no,
Yeah,
not at
you
this
think?
point. Unless you played out of your mind. And Aztec, weirdly, again, this is why I was offended by no one asking me. Aztec is actually one of the nations that I've played quite an amount. So that's hurtful. So I personally think that even if you restart at this point, if you played very fast and you were very familiar with Aztecs, you could potentially still get it done. It would be incredibly, incredibly tricky.
Which challenge do you think
we
is
shall
more
see.
difficult? This one or the Incan one?
I'm gonna say that the Incan one is more difficult, not because the challenges, not because the reforms are more difficult, but because I think Aztecs are so well placed for the reforms. It's like they were designed with the Doom mechanic in mind. And again, I think this Doom mechanic is actually a positive because of that aggressive expansion impact. If this number was 70, 80, then he wouldn't have had any coalitions at all. And it's kind of a tricky one otherwise. So we'll see.
I think the Incan challenge is going to be way easier, man. Maybe I'm saying that because I've played those guys so much, but the thing with the Incans is, right, you don't ever shrink. You don't get weaker, right? You only get more powerful. But then again, at a certain point, you're left with nothing but just waiting. So I'm interested in seeing what kind of strategies our players will come up with after they've annexed all of the Incan guys. Because, chat, if you don't know, I did used to hold a record for forming Inca in the quickest amount of time. And that's official, by the way, baby. A little
World
humble
record. Let's
brag
go.
right there. You know what I'm saying?
That's weird because I actually hold the record for the quickest nahuatl reform.
Oh, yeah?
No, that's a complete lie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, expect.
By the way, this is what I was talking about. You get these events that give you -5 Doom all the time. So an easy mechanic to manage. Let's see. Hang on. Ghibli said that her money is on Flory beating her in the next match. I'm pretty sure that's match fixing. Has she bet money?
She's betting against.
I don't think.
What?
She's betting against
Is that
herself.
illegal?
That's illegal.
Is
That's
that
illegal.
illegal?
I don't. Can we get the commission on that? Speed 5? We get confirmation.
We'll
Right. I
ask
want to see
around
if
in about
it's
23 minutes.
if the percentage of change. If we can get a poll going to see at this point with 23 minutes left who they think is going to come home the victor in this matchup. If we can have a poll going between the two, that'd be great. Bear in mind, the victor of this goes and faces Flory in the grand final. So this is an all-important match right now. It
Will
does look like
Traxium
Aldrahill has
be-
slowed down a little bit. We've got 2
in his
vassals here, and he's at
second
war
final?
with one other. Let's see. Is he struggling with finance? Oh, there we go. There's another war. There is a lot of room here for Traxium to catch up, as dire as it may seem.
Definitely,
So we
definitely.
shall see.
Meanwhile, we can pop back over to Traxium and see what he's been up to during this point. He has gotten himself over to 3 vassals, and he has expanded territorially as well, although his provinces are disconnected from himself. So they are
Well,
connected to his
yeah.
vassals right here.
The vassals.
But basically, when he pops out these vassals, when they get released once he reforms, this land is going to be disconnected from him. So we'll see how that works out. He is in a war with these Koi guys and Tlaxcala once again. So they're right here. He can easily vassalize both of these guys. Boom. Pass a second reform. And he shouldn't be too far
Well,
behind.
he is a
Aldrahill.
full reform behind, so he does need to pick up the pace if he is going to have a chance, and hope that Aldrahill does slacken a little bit. We'll see. I think at this point, can he hire any more mercenaries? Because at this point, I think you just got to go for broke, run the risk of bankruptcy, and gun it, pretty much.
Yeah, you just got to go all out, I think.
I mean,
honestly,
yeah.
I'll be surprised if we see 5 reforms. I'm thinking
Me too. At this point, I think
maybe
here's the
4.
thing. He needs to beat Aldrahill on the number of reforms, because right now, even if he gets the second reform, Aldrahill is going to beat him because Aldrahill did the second reform in
Aldrahill is
1459.
quicker. That's right. So it's looking like the only
needs
way
to
for
just
Traxium
blitz
do
it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Do it in more years, but get more reforms. And I think that's why this format adds a little bit of an element to it, because Aldrahill could take his time and do it in a more efficient way. But if Traxium manages to get through more reforms, then
That's Aldrahill's
done.
advantage right now. Yeah.
All right. So how many vassals does he have? Traxium has 3 vassals, right?
He's at 3 right now. He's about to get his 4th and 5th one as soon as he sieges down this one province right here, which is a level 1 fort. So it shouldn't take too long if he puts this 2 siege guy over there, which he actually just did as I was saying that. So yeah, problems for him.
And then
he's no manpower.
Really oh man.
He's not losing
is
money.
there anyone
He's
else
good with
around with? Is there anyone else around with a bunch of
With
vassals?
subjects?
Yes.
Let's look here. It doesn't seem like it, honestly.
That is unfortunate.
This
Well, Lions will have
Wastek has 1 vassal. I mean,
That's
Totonac.
2 guys right
Totonac
there.
has 2 vassals. So he
At this
could go
point,
for
with
these
20
3
minutes
all at once.
remaining, he needs to just blitz. I think do the next reform and then absolutely gun it. On my side of things, if we flip back over, we see Aldrahill at war with 4 different participants. Only needs 2 of them because he already has 3 vassals. And he's well on his way to the next reform. You're really pulling away with it. Again, it's not enough for Traxium just to play well. He needs to hope that Aldrahill slows down and messes up. So we will see if that takes place. Again, no risk of doom here, no risk of collapse. Aldrahill perhaps looking at it and taking it a bit slower to make sure that he secures himself the victory, knowing that he has got the time advantage over Traxium. So we shall see. Right, now 74% in favor of Aldrahill. The odds have switched in his favor significantly. What was it? I think it was 56 before? It's almost a 20% swing. Those are huge odd differences. Maybe we should run betting games on this. I'm pretty sure it's
All right,
illegal.
while you were babbling on with whatever you were saying, I don't know, I wasn't listening, bro.
carry
I'm
on.
bored. Traxium passed the second
So flip it
reform
over. All right.
on
When?
May 2nd, 1464. We can pop back over to Traxium real quick just to see how that is looking like. And he has immediately started his first 2 wars right after that versus a bunch of nations. He is fighting 1 nation in this one war, Terrace Khan right here, and he's fighting 5 nations in this other war. So potentially, he could be immediately passing his 3rd reform right here.
Oh, that's
if he just
perfect, because
vassalizes all of these guys right here, 3 of
If
which
it was 4, if it was 4 subjects, then he wouldn't be able to take all of them. Because I'm pretty sure he can take a max of 3. But if we flip over to my point of view, on the 2nd of August, 1466, we have the 3rd reform now from Aldrahill's side. So he is pulling away, really. I think. He's 2 years ahead of Traxium and a whole reform. This is going to be tricky. Traxium needs to now not worry about efficiency and just let the speed 5 go and try and get to the 4th reform. We have 18 minutes left. This is going to get close, man.
He can just keep going the way he is,
really close.
and he's going to take this away. But if Traxium can finish this war with these 4 guys and this 1 war with this 1 guy that is doing, he could potentially get the 3rd reform about the same date as Aldrahill did. So we'll see where we're at with that.
I'm just going to quickly show off here. We have no truces with these 2, but after that, see what allies they have. Oh, that's perfect for him. Oh, it's lining up real nice for Aldrahill right now in terms of the truces. And yep, he does declare the war. That should be 3 more vassals from there. And then potentially 2 more over here. He could get the next one really quickly. And this is the advantage of building up your power base early. He is fine for money. And by all accounts, should be cruising to a victory here. So if we flip over to Traxium's point of view, we can see what he's going to try and do to catch up.
Yep, still in a war with this Tlapanek nation right here, which seems to have 3 subjects. It's going good. 27% war score. He is kind of sort of losing versus Terrascon,
Does
which
seem
is
to be praying.
let me oh, is he? I didn't
He
catch
was
that.
for a second.
But yeah, does
What's
he
his
have
loan
any
situation
level
like?
3 forts to siege down? Oof, look at this pain that Traxium is going to have to experience here, ladies and gentlemen. He has to siege down 4 level 3 forts with just, well, less than 10k troops. I don't know how that's going to work out, honestly. He is going to be able to win this war, but how quick is he going to be able to do it? He's just sieged down the main belligerent, Tlapanek right here.
What's his money situation?
Money situation is looking good. He's not suffering with cash that much. Losing money, sure, but nowhere near bankruptcy. The problem with him is the manpower right now. Does he have...
He needs to get more mercs at this point. Really needs to start letting...
Interestingly, he
go.
has not given out increased levies. That's a beginner mistake right there, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Go on, get him. Get him.
Yeah.
Expose this man. Clip that. All right, if we... Oh, my God.
The classic beginner blunder.
Blunder through that sentence, didn't you? Right, moving on. He's trying to fight you. I think, he does need to open up the throttle a little bit. A little less time swinging at the casters, a little bit more time focusing on his gameplay because he is behind and needs to
a little less
potentially
conversation,
his...
a little more action.
He's only got 12k troops. He needs to start hiring mercs. He needs the gun for it. And I also think that if we look at how much war score he needs, on that 49% war, I think it's against Tlapanek, the key part is he's not going to be able to take all of them as vassals, right?
He's just beast out
He's taken one.
Terrascon right here, so he has 1 subject
Excellent,
now.
That's 1. So he needs 4 out of this war. He can get 1 from the co-belligerent, or the non-co-belligerent, the ally, and then he needs to take Tlapanek and 2 others. So he doesn't need all of the capital. So if he goes and sieges down all the capitals, that would be a mistake.
Yeah, true.
At this point,
he needs to go for the easier one.
Kill his run.
Is there an easier one? These are both hills. Yeah, they're both hills. So there really is
the key part is he needs to make sure he doesn't go for one and then the other if he has the war score to take 3 vassals. Because the ally he can take separately and then 3 vassals.
Well, let's check out the peace deal here. All right, let's say the ally is separate, and then we can make these guys the vassal. But where is the option to make... Oh,
you need to.
So there's the other one.
To occupy the capital.
Yeah, so he has occupied the capital of Tonala right here, but even that, man, that's already 88% war score.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be enough.
So, yeah, I don't think... I think out of this war, he can only get 3. And then he'll be stuck with 4.
Well,
you can check out the truces.
Right? So you can get Shalisko as a vassal. Then he can get 3, and then he needs to just do something. If we flip back over to my point of view, I'll take you through what's going on over here. Aldrahill still playing steady, still maintaining his course. Doesn't seem to be pulling any wild maneuvers, keeping calm. And there we go. There's a war, presumably. Oh, who's he got? Okay, there's 3 guys in this. 2 over here. He already has 1 vassal. It's inefficient by 1 guy, but realistically, he doesn't need to be worrying and splitting hairs. He just needs to keep on striding out ahead, and it looks like he's doing so very effectively. Can he get any more mercenaries? He can get more mercenaries, but probably unnecessary at this point.
Good point by Flory in the chat. So he can just separate peace and vassalize Shalisko, which is the ally, and then if he full annexes Tlapanek, he'll just get the 3 subjects for free automatically.
That is true. That is true.
And with that, he will have 5 vassals. The guy
he needs to make sure that
the ally
in the peace deal, he needs to select. If I show it off over here, he needs to select this first, and then he can take the provinces. Select that first, and then take it. Otherwise, it will lock you out. I'm not sure. If we flip back over to Traxium's point of view, we can see how that is getting on.
So the vassals are out of this war. He did vassalize 1 guy. Oh. Well.
Oh no, it just cut back to him staring at the sky. Traxium, don't give up, buddy. Keep going, buddy. Keep going. Just keep going.
Listen, we still got time here. Let's see some
please
motivating words in the chat.
Please clip the cut just straight to Traxium staring at the sky. That was amazing.
Listen, I know a lot about pain, Chad, but nothing like this, man. This is too much even for me. Wow.
So he took 3, but he didn't quite get them. Okay. But he needs to unload a little bit. He's still got 12 minutes. That's still a lot of time, and he's only 1 reform behind. He can probably get 2 reforms in 12 minutes.
Listen, sometimes in life...
It's not lost.
You just make the wrong peace deal.
What happened? It does look like, yeah, he just made the wrong peace deal and didn't annex and take the land.
Well, there's another war started immediately. The Aztec War of Aggression. Well, we have a no CD right there.
At this point, you got to go for it.
At this point, he does have to go for it, and I respect that. He does have enough admin points to stab up, as it's looking like. He has a stab cost guy. How expensive it is for him to stab up? Not very expensive at all, actually. He is in a Regency, sure, but he's about to be out of that in 2 years, so yeah. Nothing is lost yet, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go.
Nothing is lost yet.
Traxium at this point, I don't think pausing is an option, mate. You just got to take it on the chin, hire mercenaries, and go all out.
And he has lost his starting ruler, but the heir is pretty good as well.
Montezuma also is an incredible starting general. It's worth noting.
Shout out to Montezuma.
Yeah, quick shout out to that guy. You know, why can't we get him on?
I don't know. Ask Cortez.
You ever come to the realization that we're just massive nerds, giggling to ourselves about historical?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Right,
Listen,
if we flip back over to my point of
early
view,
2000s, being a nerd is cool now.
Is it? All right, man. Can we replace Leif with Montezuma? Really? It looks like after this peace deal, he will have 5 necessary. Oh no, he took land maybe after this one though. Surely he'll take him as an Aztec vassal, unless he full accesses them to flex on Traxium, in which case that would be incredibly funny. But no, he does the sensible thing and takes the 5.
Traxium has been coalitioned and declared on. Traxium has been coalitioned and declared on. We need to flip over to his POV immediately, where we can see that the Totonac Aztec punitive war has started, and he is just dead inside at this point. Ladies and gentlemen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 nations have declared on them with a collective power of 62,500 troops. Can we get some Fs in the
Fs
chat?
in chat, lads.
Fs in the chat, because honestly, I don't think there's coming back from this. What about you, Laith?
Are you asking if I was in control, mate? Whew.
Do you think he can come back from this? This is not about you.
I think that Traxium. It's not about me. Well, I don't understand that concept, but thanks for pointing that out. I think he can come back from it, but it is worth noting that the 4th reform has just been passed. How? Well, he has to surrender and just speed 5 it.
But
doesn't every nation
the 4th reform has been passed. You just said it.
The 4th reform, he has 10 minutes to pass 3 reforms. He has to pass 3 reforms in 10 minutes.
Easy.
Like I will say, right? It is that it might be the biggest ask I've ever seen. Is it theoretically possible? I'd struggle to say yes. Maybe if everything went your way and you never paused and you had the reactions of, I don't know, a Greek god, potentially. But it would be. So someone like Old Flory might be able to pull it off. But I don't know if a man alive today could do it.
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There's the solution. Traxium, if you're listening, bruh, just full annex all of them. Forehead.
Just win.
Just full annex them. Yeah.
He's spending a lot of time paused. He's still got 8 minutes. Do it. Full annex them. He's trying to listen to us. Okay, all right, here's Traxium. Here's step-by-step guide, right? Get a bunch of mercenaries. Get loads of corruption. Fight.
High corruption good, of course.
High corruption good at this point, yeah. There you go. Just fight out. You've got 8 minutes left. 8 minutes to prove that, like, give us a show. 8 minutes to show off your skill. Do it for pride, damn it, Traxium. 8 minutes. Prove yourself. You took the Masters Universalis titles off from me last season. Prove why. Sorry, I got away from you a little bit.
Apologies to Laith's neighbors.
Do apologize. I apologize to the production team. They're just gonna like yanked off their yanked off their headsets just to me yelling. Right.
So yeah, this is Traxium's right now, man.
If we flip over to my point of view, we can see as well that more wars have been declared.
Might get 5.
And it looks like he can get 5.
He has time for 5.
He has 7 minutes. He's got time for 5.
Yeah,
he's up against 40,000 troops, but let's not forget he should have a tech advantage too. Yeah, he's on Miltech 5.
They're probably at 5?
Yes, he's got Miltech 5.
What are they at? They're like 2 or something, I bet.
2. I think it might be 2. Yeah, it's 2.
Bro, that's easy.
That's all- that's
and
all
his
right, man.
manpower is good too. Wow, this has
Yeah,
been a really
he's
good
been-
play by Aldrahill.
It has been a dominant performance. Obviously, we looked at Traxium and how he could have come back, but let's not take away for a second any of the gameplay from Aldrahill. Did what he needed to do, and I cannot fault. The only thing that he could have done differently was play faster. But like that's just basically saying
does he need-
he could have done.
to play
No, he
faster?
didn't. But that's what I'm saying. My only complaint is do everything that you're doing, but do it faster. And that's not much of a complaint because it's just be fast. I would say he really hasn't made that many mistakes at all. It has been a dominant performance, and he's coasting his way to the final to get revenge on Flory. Bear in mind, next week we're going to see the best of 3 of Flory versus Aldrahill. And the winner of that will... Flory's in chat. He's scouting out the moves. He's going to be studying game footage.
Studying his opposition.
Yeah.
Studying the ops.
He's got 6 minutes left. Do you think he's going to do it? Oh, he's
Yeah, I
declared
think he can
another
do
war.
it, man. I think he can do it, probably. He's already in a
Interesting, he's
separate
declared
war.
another war. Bear in mind also these forts around here are very, very useful, right? Because the AI will just latch onto them, meaning that you can maintain your full production, full loans, and your gold mines, most importantly. So we shall see.
Forts too.
People saying Flory already scared. I'm pretty sure. Let's see.
I mean,
How's
if
he
he
gonna
did
handle
lose
this?
to you, who's to say he can't lose to Aldrahill?
Yeah, but you know what? I've already had my like little salty yelling session. I think I should move past that very quickly.
Yeah, you flexed enough.
Oh, I always flex, dude. I mean, we turned up in suits today. I haven't taken my suit
Did we
off.
do that every time? Oh, I
do that
took it
every
off.
tough
I'm too
point.
hot, bro.
I did.
I took it
I
off.
didn't.
Yeah.
Always maintaining air professionalism.
Also,
Is
I
there going
can't
to be
like.
a game for third place next week, or is it just the finals? This is a very good question, and I'm going to leave
good
that
idea for
as,
the future.
You know what? I'll let the hosts answer that question, because if I answer it, I might get it wrong, and if I'm right, then I might disappoint people. So I'm going to let them take it on the chin and and disappoint everyone. That they said in chat. So yeah, it is just the finals. So
There we go,
this
just the
will be the
finals.
last that we are seeing of Traxium and Ghibli in this season, at least. And we'll see. We've got 5 minutes. Traxium has picked up his chair and appears to be advancing on his PC. He is attacking it in a violent manner. This has taken a very nasty turn indeed. We hate to see
IRL violence.
man on machine violence. Yep, that's horrifying.
I'm sure he
Honestly,
did that
we
because
don't
he was
condone-
happy that he's winning this war.
So happy. We don't condone that
he
sort
is
of
winning
behavior.
this war.
It's just yeah, they're actually Traxium and Aldrahill are playing back to back right now. So their monitors are back to back. So he was just attacking Aldrahill. They're in the same room. Aldrahill.
If we pop back over to
unfortunately-
Aldrahill, we can see that he's bleeding right now
Yeah.
profusely.
Yeah, we flip over to Aldrahill. Oh no, he just took the chair hit to the face.
He has, in fact,
Oh.
just died. Well,
Hang on,
Traxium
no,
is
yep,
the
well,
winner,
that's a shame.
ladies and gentlemen.
Traxium, in the rule set, it does not say that you cannot commit violence against another person.
Winner by total knockout.
Oh, and it looks like the Tlapanek has declared a coalition war. So if Traxium carried on going, he might have been able to get all the reforms, because it does appear that that the final reform will elude Aldrahill, unless of course he pieces out, which I would be surprised.
I'd just pause if I
they-
was him, bro.
Dude, I just peace out. Look,
Can the AI make you revoke
no, you can't.
nahuatl reform? No, right?
No, he should just if he just pieces out. There's a 60% peace deal. I think it's more now. Yeah, he now has to revoke his. Well, he has to revoke his overlordship now because he pieced out first.
I mean,
it
that's
looks
no
like he's
big
going to
deal.
try and fight
He's
this
already
war.
passed 4.
He is, but I want to
3
see our
minutes left.
contestants do
Traxium,
as
yeah.
well as they possibly can. You know?
Listen, chat. I know last week we had a showdown to literally the final second, but you can't have that every time. I guess
Traxium
sometimes.
has picked up a guitar. He is serenading us. It's wonderful. It's great to hear.
Chat. Look at the
Um,
pain in this man's eyes.
Sad eyes.
Let's see some
He's
07s in the chat, boys. Let's see
Yeah,
some
some 07s in
the
chat, lads. 07s in chat. And in respect to, he put up an effort against everyone. Was so close at pinching the win against Flory. Super close. But unfortunately, he will be knocked out today. Why? Is it a bit stereotypical that he's just Spanish? He's saluting the chat now. They're saluting him back. Like the violist is on the Titanic, exactly. As we take down to the final 2 minutes, he is going down.
If I was him, I'd unpause and watch it all crumble.
Dude, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, Aldrahill was saluting as well. We just missed it. But Aldrahill's saluting. Let's see how he handles this situation. I think he's done. If we flip over to Traxium, you gotta just unpause and let it happen. Unpause, let us have chaos for a minute and a half.
And
if we flip over to Traxium's point of view,
down.
There we go.
There we go.
If there's a suit under there,
sieging down his capital.
Imagine he takes off his coat to reveal a shirt saying, "Mum, I'm going to the finals," and he just has to sadly take it off because he has in fact lost. So that does suck. We hate to see that. It would have been amazing. I'm really sad that didn't happen now.
Well, now we know for next time, and we just gave some people ideas, I think. So,
if we flip back over to Aldra Hill, Aldra's gone bankrupt. I don't know if that was intentional. Can you nod if that was intentional? Because that's really funny if it was. I don't know if it was intentional.
Yes, it was definitely intentional. You see that very
doesn't look like it.
nod.
He was at no. Let's see. Does that get rid of his? Okay, imagine if it got rid of his reforms. Can you?
Oh my god, that would have been so fun.
I think only 100 Doom does that. No, I don't think 100 Doom does that. I think once the reforms are secured, it's the Incan one. You should know. It's the Inti one, isn't it? When if you break, then your 2 reforms get revoked.
Oh, I don't know. I've never lost. I'm too good.
You wouldn't know.
Yep.
Right. Let's see here. Remember, guys, that finish Olympics. To finish the Olympics in 8th place is still better than 8 billion people. Yeah, but actually, you raise a good point. If you think that you could have done better, if we flip over to Traxium as he watches it burn, if you think that you could do better, please sure to be in the Discord. You can attempt these challenges yourself. You can see how many reforms that you could get done and when you can do it by. It's a lot easier for us to monitor this because it's done by in-game date. I will vouch for this challenge. This is one of the most fun ones. But time is up. So I think if our contestants pause, I think that will be the end. Traxium, a final wave.
Who won?
Who won? Well, how many reforms did Traxium get?
5.
You got sure. Okay.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, we can actually wrap up this first duel right here, and we can see that in Traxium's POV right here, he did pass 2 reforms. First reform, May 29th, 1456. Second reform, May 2nd, 1464, and his nation is now collapsing. I like how I just went into caster mode right there instead of meme mode. But we can pop back over to Aldrahill and see that he's actually the winner.
Right, well, Aldrahill, he is the winner. He's got 4 done. He did the first one. He averaged, I think, one every 6 years or so. 53, 59, 66, and 1470. So he will be going to the finals next week and facing Flory there. Oh, man.
Wow.
That was intense.
Amazing.
I think Aldrahill commanded the lead early and then maintained it the entire time.
Yeah, that was a near perfect gameplay from Aldrahill, man.
Absolutely.
If I do say so myself. I don't think he made any noticeable mistakes. I mean, sure, it was your POV, so you might have caught something. But that was a perfect game by him, man. Not losing a lot of money. Manpower always full. Passed 4 reforms. He didn't even need to pass the 5th one. Sure, he did die at the end right there, but it didn't matter.
Only thing I would have said would be the Doom mechanic. You can definitely, I've said it so much on this stream, but you can flirt with it to the point where it gives you ridiculous bonuses to your aggressive expansion reduction. But he didn't need to. I think he heard he was ahead, played it safe, and continued on his path, and is the winner for today. So I think
congratulations to Aldrahill. Let's see some W's in the chat,
boys.
We'll
see what they say.
W's in the chat.
I think there we go. There we go.
Gold clap.
Is that for
No, that's for Aldrahill, not for you.
For me.
No.
Gosh.
Nah.
You'll get a paddling later.
All right.
I'm
I didn't
uncomfortable in my
see that in
work
the contract.
environment.
I'm jealous. I don't have a Christmas sweater on, and it's irking me more and more every
So he's
minute
saying
of
wrong
every
things.
day.
Anyway, so I would like to apologize to Laith on behalf of him because he's the one that messed it up. That we didn't ask you your opinion, Laith.
I've just been ignored. I'm just here. I want to point out that at the start, all that happened was that you asked Red Hawk for his opinion, and then you had a go at me for a little bit, and then we moved on. I didn't offer anything of substance. I was just a punching bag for that entire segment.
I feel like we got what we needed from Red Hawk.
Great. His only
I
response
explained
is that
everything
he's
about
never
the
played it
Aztecs.
before.
So on
That's
that
all you
note,
need to know, bro.
so what would you? Did anything surprise you in this challenge?
Like I said, it was surprising that they went for a low doom approach. It's a safe one. I would have expected to see both players try and get the as high aggressive expansion impact reduction as possible, because then you're not going to deal with any coalitions. As we saw at the end, both players had to deal with one, and
Do
that
you
could have
think-
been the deciding factor.
Do you think if they had, that they would have been able to get those 5 reforms at all, or at least much faster?
It's difficult to say based on the environment you're in. It's a lot to think about. Obviously, if I'm playing at home, I've got the luxury of pausing and that sort of thing. But I think that it would have been feasible. But I can't fault going for a low doom approach because it keeps you safe. And that's, again, if you're playing at home, not really many stakes. You just sort of force quit and pretend you're better at the game than you actually are. But here on this stage, in front of everyone, especially in this match where the winner would go to the grand final, you can't fault them for not taking that much of a risk.
Okay. On that note, we have our players, so we'll talk to you guys in just a minute. Congratulations, Aldrahill.
Very
You're
well
going
played.
to the
Thank
final.
you.
Whoa, confetti
Terrifying.
and stuff, and all of that, which I've learned that people do not like when you shoot out in the studio because someone has to clean it up.
I was like, are you going to do this to me?
Nope, I am not. Aldrahill, did that go according to plan?
It actually did. It was pointed out by the casters. I got a good bit of luck in one truce. The truce ended, and then someone got declared war on en masse all at once, and I was able to just get 3 vassals without even really doing anything. So it went according to plan and then some.
Well, congratulations for unseating our
Thank you.
past winner of Masters, Traxium. So congratulations with that in Traxium. I'm so sorry. That coalition, that was
it's
just
okay.
rude.
I don't think it was the coalition. Well, obviously it has its impact, but Aldrahill prepared well and played so good, and he can prepare, so deserved win. And I wish him good luck in finals against the floor reward.
Yeah, I do want to say one thing, Traxium. You said going into this, you're like, okay, well, solid plan. I'm gonna follow the caster's advice. And on that note, do you feel like Red Hawk kind of robbed you of the win?
In a way, yes, because he didn't give me clear instructions. Because my English is not great, so he should have been clearer.
Yeah.
Talking to me.
I mean, he does his casting voice from time to time, and it's really fast. You can see that. I can see that. Well, Traxium, unfortunately, this is the end of the line for you for this season. It has been a pleasure to have you on and return. Thank you so much for taking part again. Hope that we can see you soon. Aldrahill, see you next week, man.
See you next week.
That's
Oh, I'm so happy for Aldra that he was able to make it to the final, but I'm sad to see Traxium go as well. He's been with us for so long now.
He has. He's like it's him and Laith who's who have been the two constants. And not for nothing, Traxium doesn't talk back to me.
he just takes your views.